complete.
I was struck by your sort of resistance to analogy and, you know, the sort of adaptation as, and we've all done it. I've done it,
Me,
you know,
okay.
it's really, you know, it's at a certain level kind of moving that you give adaptation, you know, that you pay it such respect that it is itself. And it's a really interesting concept to sort of think through in various contexts. So
yeah, I mean, my resistance isn't an absolute resistance to that. I mean, you know, an adaptation as a film, as a book. But what I was trying to say is the moment you start to look at adaptation as film, which is valid, which is important, absolutely, and illuminating to film and to adaptation, you are constraining how you're seeing adaptation. And, you know, the film as film people, let's not even think about this film as an adaptation. Let's just think about it as a film. And so it's just about balancing. It's the same thing. I'm not like anti-theory, but I'm saying, instead of just saying what's wrong with adaptation because it's not working with my theory, I want to say what's wrong with that theory that it doesn't work for adaptation. Don't have this problem in the sciences. You don't have this problem in the social sciences. They don't despair of theory. So what's wrong with humanities theories? And so that's when I started to think about, what is a theory in the humanities and how is it different from theory in other fields? And it is. And that is, to me, the main problem. And I write a lot about that. But yeah, I think the idea is that there needs to be balance and reciprocal. So I raise a lot of specific examples of that, but just, you know, instead of asking how this film, this adaptation is a film, think more about adaptation as an adaptation, and think more about how film is an adaptation, you know, so to fill that out. And so I'm not against it, but I'm seeing a huge hole. And this is why it's been really difficult to define adaptation as a field. I think we're doing a brilliant job, and thanks largely to people like Deborah and the Adaptation, the Association, the Journal, Literature Film, you know, which is lots about adaptation, and then lots of scholars who have really gone in, like Christine, on adaptation as a genre. And I'm sure there are others people I'm not including here. But yeah, I think it's just that always looking at it as something else. And in feminism, you've got people talking about you need to see women as women, or you see Black lives as Black lives and not as something else.